Warframe. Why? Because I can. That's pretty much it. I'm bored out of my mind, and I'm playing Warframe, and I never stream as often as I'd like to, so I decided, hey, why the hell not? All I've been doing today is just outright farming. That's it. I have played Warframe on and off for a very, very long time, ever since it came out on PS4, and I just recently got back into it again. So I decided, I decided to start playing it again because I'd heard of the new update that had come out, and that hopefully sooner rather than later they'd be adding ship combat. Side note, I'm just farming for chaotic right now, which is an indescribable pain in the ass. They might add ship combat and all that, so I decided to get back into the game. And it's been fun, again, like it always is. This is one of those games that I play on and off quite often. Like, this is the 14th time I've come back now, and this time I'm getting into it a little bit more than usual, because for other outside reasons, this is one of the only games I have to play right now, which isn't saying it's not a fun game. I'm just saying I am now more motivated to play it, because it is an enjoyable game, but if you've played the game, you know it's extremely grindy, and sometimes I'm not good with games like that. Let me double check something. Yeah, I created a party because I don't want the people in game to hear me just endlessly yapping on, because nobody wants to fucking hear that, except for anybody who's watching this, and if so, I thank you, but why? There's no point in watching this. I'm doing this because I'm fucking bored. By the way, I don't know the best way to farm for chaotic other than I've been told void fishers, which I'm not going to do. At least not right now, because I've got work here in a little while, and I ain't got the time to just start doing void fishers. I just don't. So I'm not going to. Okay. I am doing missions that are extremely low level, just so I can, go for longer. Because, why the hell not? I enjoy the hell out of this game most of the time. Except for when it gets to situations like this, where it's a bit of a slog, farming like chaotic and stuff, but it's improved quite a lot. Like, I hopped on first time whenever they added a resource called Nation Extract, which used to only be able to be found in missions that didn't show up all the time. They were temporary, they only showed up a couple times a day, and if you weren't on whenever that happened, too bad. No Nishian for you, and certain frames took like 15 to make, and you could only get like one per mission. It was a fucking nightmare. And now they have a dedicated way to get it that's always there and super easy. So they're improving the grind a bit. Shit like this is still an absolute tectonic pain in the ass to get, but, there's resource boosters and stuff, which I could get if I sold some mods for some platinum, which is another thing I always liked about Warframe, having an actual fully functioning in-game economy where you don't have to pay to get the in-game pay-to-win currency. You can just trade it from other people who are too lazy to farm for themselves, so you do all the work and boom, you get paid to do it. I hope these guys don't want to extract, because I've still got plenty of goddamn room to go. By the way, another thing that got me back into this game, this guy I'm playing right now, oh my god, is he fun? He's not overpowered or anything like that, but he's just fun as hell to play. Also, he's fast as hell, which I love. What the hell are these students doing? I mean, they're not... What are you... I'm not gonna ask, alright? This game, I don't want to be a dick, alright? The fan base is pretty cool. I'm not gonna be a dick to these people. One of them's low rank, so maybe they're just waiting for their friend to get back. I don't know. That makes sense. Dude's Master Rank 21, though, which is cool. I don't see a lot of people, well, depending on where I go, I don't see a lot of people like that, but I'll be fucked if I don't go to fucking Helene and see just fucking Master Rank 800 people just fucking demolishing everything until like wave 30. Makes me feel a teensy bit inadequate, you know, gives me small pain syndrome. But, you know, hell with it. Realize the immense amount of times I say, you know. I need to fucking stream more so I can get good at doing English by myself. Because normally, you don't talk to yourself, because you know, you might get thrown in a loony bin. Because apparently, it's awkward if you're sitting there in your room at 1 in the morning, carrying on casual conversations with yourself. You sound a bit insane. But it's okay if you're playing a video game and doing it, because if other people can hear you, then it's okay that you're talking to yourself, because you're technically not. It's a loophole in the system.
Look what we found.
I just realized, what if insane asylums just turned all of their participants and occupants into streamers? How kick-ass would it be to watch somebody, I mean, not to make fun of people with mental disabilities, but how kick-ass would it be to see somebody with, like, multiple personality disorder playing a story game? Like, that'd be so fucking great seeing somebody 1 second crying over the loss of a character, and then all of a sudden he just starts laughing his ass off because he's a sadistic bastard now. That would be so amazing. I wonder if there are any streamers or YouTubers with multiple personality disorder, or dissociative identity disorder, or whatever it's called now. It changes every other day of the week. Although most things are constantly changing, because gotta make sure it stays politically correct. Although with that, I don't think it's a case of politically correct, I just think it's a case of trying to make it more accurate. Because as far as I know, I took a high school psychology course, so I'm an expert on this. I mean, as far as I know, with my limited knowledge of psychology, they aren't sure that the multiple personality disorder is an actual, they have that, and more of just a case of the disorder is them pretending more than anything, if it even is a disorder. It's like, from what I know, it doesn't hold, like, you can't, in court, alright, you can't use it as a defense. Like, say somebody went into court for armed robbery or theft, alright? And they say, oh, that wasn't me, that was Daryl, my other personality. Courts don't allow that, or rarely allow that as a defense. Because most of the time, it's just accepted that it's not real, or if it is, it's like a 1 in a million, intensely rare case that somebody has this disorder. But, you know, I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm wrong about literally almost everything. So, you know, fuck it. But at least I can give my 2 cents. Which isn't much, but you know, fuck it. Also, is that Limbo Dude still fucking okay? Limbo Loki. Same difference. They both have legs. They're the same character. Thank you. Time to move on. God. Damn it. Oh god. Okay, we're good. Yeah. What was I talking about? I have a very difficult time keeping focused. I don't know if there's something wrong with me, because I've been to a psychologist once, but that was for OCD. I've never really been to a psychologist for shit like that, so I don't know if I have a very hard time focusing and an incredibly, immensely, indescribably difficult time remembering literally anything, almost, right? Like, or at least shit that's important. I can remember, like, useless history facts and stuff pretty well, but when it comes to proper remembering, I don't much do that, considering, even during my own conversations, I don't remember most of what I said. I remember it was something about psychology, identity disorder, yeah. It's one of the things where it doesn't hold up in court, like the insanity plea, most places just don't do that, apparently, which I didn't know. A lot of places don't, allow that. I'm stuck? What? The hell do you mean, I'm stuck? Okay. A lot of courts don't allow certain defenses, like the insanity plea doesn't go through a lot of the time, because that one is very difficult to prove since it's easily faked, so most courts are like, nah, that ain't how this works, and just don't let you do it. But you know, the multiple personality disorder is another one of those, where if you go into court and you use it as a defense, everybody just thinks you're bullshitting. Because it's a pretty easy one to fake if you're just a decent actor. throw on a couple different voices, maybe change your accent a bit, boom. Literally any actor could pretend to have multiple personality disorder. Some better than others, obviously, like that dude from Split. I didn't see the movie, but I saw the scenes of him doing different characters. That's pretty good. I like the way he did that. But if you're a decent enough actor, you can pull it off. That's why most courts are like, no, you're probably just bullshitting, and we're not going to take the chance of it. And it's very, very, very difficult to prove that somebody has that disorder or is insane. Like I said, the insanity plea. It's fucking almost never used because it never goes through. Fucking none of the courts are like, oh, he's insane because they say so. It's okay. Half the time, the psychologist is just like, no, it's fine, it's fine. Not insane enough to do the shit that they pull, because insanity plea seems to only be used in the most fucking extreme of court cases. I like to see somebody use it for like some minor shit though, like, oh man, why did you fucking steal this candy from a child? Oh, insanity. And just using that for any kind of defense could work if anybody would believe it. Sorry, I'm rambling. I have a very difficult time carrying on conversation by myself, which is why I'm doing this, to get some practice in. That's fine. I still think that's interesting, though, that, like, sometime in history, throughout court, back probably in the days whenever, if you sneezed on a preacher, you'd get hung, people would have all these fucking different things, and now we don't believe it's even a thing. But back then, somebody could just put on a funny accent, and everybody'd think they were fucking possessed and had, instead of multiple personality disorders, they had a fucking demon in them. Like, and now we just don't let any of that shit fly. Just kind of nice, because it's harder to get away with shit depending on what you did. I'm not gonna act like I live in the U.S. I'm not going to act like our judicial system is any kind of okay. Like, I live in Oklahoma. It's fucked. Like, when it comes down to certain things, like child custody in Oklahoma, it's fucked. I don't know how it is in other states, but like here, for example, I don't know if this is a sensitive topic to anybody, but imagine you have a kid, right? Two families, two parents together, they get a divorce. In Oklahoma, they always favor the woman no matter what. So the father could be the nicest fucking guy, watching after his kid, helping them do their schoolwork, working hard. The mother could just be a raging alcoholic and beat the shit out of their kid like a living boppet clown. The court will rule in favor of the woman. And if you say that's wrong, I have seen it happen countless times. But although I don't sound like it, I come from a family of true, hardcore, ultra-racist rednecks. And there have been many divorces and many custody battles because the parents wanted to be able to pull, checks for the children. And the mom always wins, no matter how bad she is. One of them, she literally looks like what happened if a meth pipe was given life. Like, if Pinocchio, instead of was a puppet, was a fucking crack pipe and came to life, right? This bitch was a walking skeleton, teeth, like, if she walked into the courtroom, she'd leave a small trail of teeth that she'd spit out. She did so much fucking drugs. Dad, normal dude, cool guy, he liked to bake. He was a really polite guy. And the courtroom took one look at this walking crack house, alright? This avatar of the crack whore. Like, if the crackheads had a god, she would be the embodiment of that deity, alright? She is pure crackhead refined, alright? And the courts were like, seems legit. I trust this woman more than you. She's obviously better than you are. She seems more fit of a parent. I mean, look, all her teeth are falling out from the stress of raising that baby. Look at how much she cares. So she got to keep the kid. Eventually, that kid is... The court may or may not have fucked that child's life. That child is very... I'm trying to find a way of a nice way to put this. The child's a fucking psychopath. Tried to stab me on multiple occasions. Like, a lot of attempted stabbing. And, you know, I feel bad for the kid. I do. That out of the many children there are that have had that fucked up situation happen. And my heart goes out to anybody who's had to deal with courts making shitty decisions. Because it seems that whenever it comes to custody battles, we just can't fucking do it right. No matter where I see them going on, what state. They just fuck it up. Always. And forever. Which makes me really sad that that's the case. But, you know. Yay court system. Woo. I mean, it does its job sometimes. Not very often. But hell, not much we can do about it. If you can't tell, I'm not exactly a huge fan of a lot of the things about the U.S. I know we're not a bad country compared to a lot of others. I'm glad we have the freedoms we do. But if you look at our politics, alright, we are an absolute, complete, and utter fucking clown show, alright? Oh my god, you fucking... God damn it. I should have done this solo! You absolute fucking whore! Oh my fucking god, you assholes. Alright. You fucking... God damn it! Okay. Got sidetracked. I am proud of the freedoms we have. But anybody, even those outside of the U.S. know we're a fucking laughing stock politically right now. Our government is lying to itself and trying to keep secrets from each other. We are just fucking... I can't explain how fucking infuriating it is to just be in this fucking situation where we are. I like to move. Maybe I like Canada or somewhere. Because right now in the U.S., there are two halves. There are the left and the right. There are... And I'm not shitting on either side, alright? Well, not everyone on either side. Because I've met a lot of people from both that are relatively calm people. It's like with feminists, alright? A lot of feminists are chill. They are feminists in the way of, they're like, yo, women should be treated equally, and we'll do our part to help make sure that happens. But the media thinks it's more fun to focus on the crazy psycho assholes. So they do. And same thing for politics. I have met some people from the left and some people on the right. There are some very polite people. Some people who think gun control is like, yo, guns is bad. We should regulate them a bit more. Which, you know, that's a good thought, but the black market exists. Americans will always find a way to illegally get guns. A lot of the things that we're trying to do won't work just because America is so morally land of the free, and we take advantage of that. Like, we have that thought process of, oh, I can do whatever the fuck I want, whereas other countries have a very strong moral code that force them to behave certain ways. Like in Japan, crime is a thing, but also an honor system exists. Like, a lot of countries are very focused around being a good person. In America, we don't really have that. So a lot of laws that we shouldn't need are being placed, but that's beside the point. But a lot of people from the left and from the right, I've seen are pretty chill. There are people from the right who are like, hey, I want to keep my guns to keep myself safe. Ones from the left who are like, hey, I'm not a big fan of guns. I want to keep my family safe. They worry me. People come that talk about abortion and all this, and it's like, you've got people who are sane, right? But, and this is a big ol' fucking but, when you get anywhere politically, like, fucking, like, it's just the main government, or on TVs and in talk shows, it's like fucking kindergarten, alright? It's no longer a case of, oh, my opponent has these views that I don't much agree with, here's why, here's what we could do to improve it. My opponent's got a tiny dick, they're an asshole, and I'll fuck their mother! That's what politics is now, alright? A bunch of kids in a Call of Duty lobby fucking sucking their Mike's dick screaming at the other, saying each other are assholes, that each other's mother are whores, complaining, screaming, kicking, fighting, and not in any way, shape, or form at all actively fucking doing politics. Like, the government is just a bunch of people calling each other, oh, you're a minion head, no, you're a minion head, oh, and just fucking bitching. Not just on the left or on the right. They're all fucking assholes, alright? Politically, I don't know a single guy I've seen who isn't just some fucking psychopath appealing to the fucking denominator of all the psycho people from the right and left, because I've met some assholes. Like, I met a dude from the right and someone from the left, right? I've met some that are, oh my god, it's so bad. Like, there's some, alright, I'm not shitting on religion, right? I like I know some people who are a bit too Christian. Now, I'm not saying Christianity is a bad thing. My father's a preacher, and it can be very good, and if it's done right, it teaches people to just be nice and not be dicks. But there are some people, like this one woman I know, who, alright, so I have some mental disabilities, or at least I know I have some. It's one of those things where I'm not trying to self-diagnose it, like, oh, I have depression because I'm sad. I know I have things like social anxiety, because most people I know don't start having panic attacks about going to Walmart or talking to someone over the phone. Like, I could be left crying in the fetal position at the thought of having to call somebody I don't know on the phone, which I know isn't normal. But there was a time at my work where over the holidays, alright, we were going to all work. I work night shift at a job, which for me, thankfully, only has 5 people. I work at a laundromat. And over the holidays, we were going to have a situation where on Thanksgiving, we cut the hours down massively, but I would be working with the day shift as well. Now, there's a bit of a difference between the day and the night shifts. That difference being, the day shift has 50 people, whereas we have 5 on the night. So, I would have been crammed in a very small, very cramped space with a very large amount of people, and for a week I couldn't sleep. And this started to show in my work. This is all leading to the woman, I promise. I'm not just complaining. I'm also complaining, but, you know, it's to tell a story, so it's okay if I bitch. So this woman finally catches wind of what I am, because I am fucking dead on my feet, like just a zombie slowly shuffling around. I am just gone, alright? And she catches wind of this, she notices, and she starts talking to me about it. She's like, oh, how are you? And she has a very thick Asian accent. Not Asian, Puerto Rican, I'm sorry. There are a couple different women. There are one from Portugal, and there's one from, I think, China. They both have very heavy accents. They're older ladies who are very, very... I'm not racist. I mean, like, the old stereotypical old lady set in their ways, damn these whippersnappers type thing. They don't believe mental disabilities exist. They don't believe that anybody has anything wrong with them mentally. They believe they just don't... They believe that it's just because you don't have enough God in your life. Which, you do you. You can have your own religion, alright? You do what you want. You live your best life, alright? I ain't shitting on that. My issue, alright, comes in whenever I'm talking to her, and I'm like, she finally picks wind of it, because I've been talking to a friend who works there, and he told her, because she's a nice lady most of the time. She's very nice. And she comes in, and she's like, yo, hey, I've seen you've been working funny, and Jimmy says that you've actually got social anxiety. And I'm like, yeah, pretty bad. So I'm pretty stressed about Thursday. She's like, you and my husband. I'm like, what? You and him, you both. Those things aren't real. You just need more Jesus. Has your family ever done anything wrong religiously or done anything wrong? And I get the little flashbacks to like my family throwing half sticks of dynamite, blowing up streets, and fucking beating the shit out of children. And I'm like, By the way, this isn't my parents' parents. My parents are very lovely people, and I'm happy to have them. It's my extended family that are all fucked up. It starts with my grandparents and goes on from there. Parents are great people, though. But I'm back on track. She's like, are your family cursed? And I have the thoughts of like, oh yeah, my family are crazy, violent, redneck assholes. So I'm like, they are, they're interesting. They've done some bad stuff, yeah. She's like, maybe your family is cursed. There's no such thing as mental disability. We just need more Jesus. And I'm sitting here, having gone a week without sleep, and I hold my tongue, because she's a very sweet lady. She's just doing what she thinks is right. But my God, that way of thinking pisses me off. It's that thought process of like, you don't need no help, just quit being a bitch. That causes people to kill themselves. I'm not saying I'm going to kill myself, but I've known people who've taken their life because their family was like, all you need to do is grow the pair, you fucking pussy. My granddaddy didn't. My granddaddy walked up the hill both ways, and he fucking fought a T-Rex every day to school. One time, I done got my arm cut off. I walked it off. I saw my friend shoot himself in the face. I didn't cry. I knew that he was a bitch when he shot himself. Well, I knew there was nothing to be sad about. Like, ultra hardcore, just fucking grow a pair. And she is very much in that line of thinking. There's another guy I work with named Jimmy. Very nice guy. We talk about video games a lot. He's an older man, like 50-something. He's a real cool dude. But then it gets to politics. Ooh, Papa Mau Mau. When it gets to politics, it gets there. So, the people I work with are very, 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 very much so on the right side of the spectrum. And they get into that political territory where it's like, they're pretty bad. They get pretty bad about it. I don't talk about politics around work, alright? I have very different opinions. I am a person who I don't agree exactly with either the right or left. Like, I don't think we should have no guns, but I don't think we should be allowed to carry RPGs around. I think abortion, I don't much approve of it, but, you know, it's not my choice. It's the choice of the person who has the baby. It's their life that will be ruined. If you're going to force somebody to keep a child, well, guess what? You'll probably fuck up that child's life forever. So I don't know if it's worth, like, raising a child in hell, alright? I'm not going to go into that. Religion, you do you. As long as you're not fucking other people up, go for it. Sexuality, you do you. As long as you're not fucking up other people, go for it. Generally, if you're not hurting anybody else, you do you, alright? I'm not a furry. I'm not a huge fan of furries, but I'm not going to fucking hate on them just because they're doing what they like. Alright? No. God damn it. Just kill me. But, you know, I'm not going to rat on people like that. But these people at my work, oh my God. They are very closed-minded. I'll put it to you that way. They're very much of the mindset of fuck the gays, fuck the queers. If you abort your baby, you should be put to the gallows. Alright? That type of thinking. Which isn't a great way to think, I'll be honest. But you know, they do them, and that's all that matters, you know. Sorry, I'm getting distracted because having issues killing this guy. I didn't bring any good guns, so it's going to be a bit difficult. So whenever politics get involved, it gets bit dicey. I'll leave it at that. I don't much care for discussing politics with them. But hey, you know, they live the life they want to live, and they think the way they think. I just pray to God we never get anybody else on night shift who is of my mindset, because the only reason I have been able to survive in that workplace is because I've learned to keep my mouth shut. And if I hadn't done that, and I'd start expressing my opinions, they would all fucking hate me. It's interesting living where I live, because Oklahoma, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but in the more rural areas, it's still very much the mindset of, you know, the old ways. The woman cooks, the man gets the bread. the fucking, if you're gay, you deserve to be hung. If you're black, you're terrible. If you abort your child, you should be put to death. And flaming crosses will be burned in your yard. Very, very, very archaic ways of thinking. By the way, I didn't just move here, because I sound like some fucking city boy who moved down here and was like, oh my god, it's so terrible out here. I have been born and raised in rural Oklahoma my entire life. Alright. I should be like, I remember skinning beaver when I was little. I went hunting, I went fishing, I did stupid redneck shit. I shot a flaming bow and arrow into a dry hayfield, which started a massive fire as a child, you know. Stupid kid shit. Played with fireworks by like nearly blowing our limbs off. And I've been here my whole life. And I know that the way we think is fucked up. And I thank God that PlayStation exists. Because, honest to God, alright? Swear on sweet buttered baby Jesus. Had I not found PlayStation, I would have not been exposed. I would have not been the way I am today. Alright, I'll put it that way. Because I would not have met all the people I did who taught me the way that they thought. PlayStation has allowed me to be very open-minded. Like, I've gotten to meet all sorts of people from all walks of life, all ways of thinking, different sexualities, races, genders, backgrounds, traumas, disabilities, strengths. And it's taught me a lot of shit. It's let me see more of humanity than I ever would have from my own little fucking glass bubble of white is right, black is bad, gays is wrong, fucking hillbilly mentality that prevails everywhere around here almost. Like fucking where I work, you know, all the men do all the heavy lifting, all the women do all the folding. That is just how it is. Not a single man working on the folding, not a single woman working with the hanging, except for one girl, but that's because she's cool as fuck. She looks like a gorilla in a human costume, so you know, it makes sense that she would do physical work. By the way, real quick, side note, I looked up the world's strongest woman, and it looks like if Godzilla somehow managed to slip into a human costume, and she was terrifying. Good on her for getting that swole, but I don't know why anybody would need to be able to bench press a house. But you know, good on her. I'm not going to make fun of her because I know she'd probably tear me in half like a wet toothpick. But you know, hell, back on topic. I would not have been the way I am had I not done PlayStation and shit, because I met all kinds of cool people from all places. I also probably wouldn't be alive, because I went through some tough times, I'll say, and I met some pretty cool people on PlayStation that helped me get through all of it. I have through all my life, ever since I was 13. Haven't been to a therapist, but I haven't really needed one, because I've had people to talk to, people to hang with. Like, I met a dude on Warframe, actually, who's now become one of my best friends, like, ever. I don't get to talk to them much anymore. I don't talk to anybody much anymore, because I work night shifts, so I don't really have any friends I can talk to, but, you know, on the weekends, I still get to hang out with them. I still haven't done a lot of things in life, like I've never been in a proper relationship and all that, but I've still gotten to get a lot of experience about things that I normally would never have done, thanks to having met all these people. Like I said, I've never been in a relationship, but I've learned a lot about them, and treating people right, and being fair to your partner, and all that. I've learned a lot about dealing with tragedy, even though I myself, I've dealt with tragedy, but not nearly as much as some people I know. And being with these people has allowed me to see that. Oh, I actually have a viewer. Hello. I am literally just farming and rambling. So, if you want to see that, cool. If not, have a good day. And good luck with whatever you're going to do today or night. No idea what time it is for you. I've just been rambling about how, what was it? Lost my train of thought. Something about politics, I think. Not left or right, just saying that in general America is kind of a shit-throwing contest politically right now, and it's kind of hilarious. Like, a lot of other countries apparently are making fun of us for it. Like, there's a German podcast dedicated to just making jokes about what's going on in American politics that week, and it's kind of great that that's a thing. Kind of sad, but also kind of fucking hilarious. Because, I don't know where you're from, but right now, in the U.S., the left and the right is the whole thing of, like, guns is bad, guns is good. One side very much opposed to the other. And a lot of people are just normal about it, you know? They'll talk casually, have discussions in the workplace. And then you go into politics, and it is like a fucking, back in the old days, Call of Duty lobby, 2-year-olds sucking on their microphones, screeching that your mother's a whore, everybody trying to get dirt on everybody else. It's like the Cold War, but between our own branches of government. It is an absolute shit show, and I love it. I mean, I don't love it because, you know, kind of terrifying to be alive at a time where the people running our country are all, instead of running the country, basically screaming, you're a doo-doo head, no, you're a doo-doo head, I fucked your mom, no, I fucked your mom. It's kind of, to put it to you this way, I'm doing my best to move out of the U.S. because I know we have a lot of good shit. We have a lot of freedoms and a lot of things that are great. But also, a lot of my friends have a strong feeling that there might be a civil war. Or not, at the very least, not a civil war, a collapse in common thinking. Like, with our President Trump, alright? Hate the dude all you want. You can say he's incompetent, whatever the hell. I've got no opinions on him. But I do know that, no joke, every single week I come into work, there is, one reason or another, somebody trying to impeach him. And it is actually sad the amount of times, because I don't particularly care for the guy, alright? But I know that he hasn't particularly, as far as I know, done anything wrong. He just, people think he hasn't been a great president. Alright, he hasn't, like, fucking trafficked children or anything. But every single goddamn week, no, this is not an exaggeration, every week I go into work, there's a new reason he's either being impeached or a current impeachment going on. Every time one of the impeachment processes has gone under, immediately more people come forward with more allegations. And people at my work have started taking bets on what they'll try and impeach him for next time. Every time, though, it seems to involve Russia for some reason. I don't know if it's because people think Trump and Putin are friends. That part confuses me, that it's almost always Russia. I don't know what we got against Russia. I mean, I know they do some shit that we don't like, but it's always Russia. Out of the, like, fuck, I've lost count. You can look into it. I guarantee you it's at least over 10 times now. And if it's not over 10 times, it's just because certain one of them have, like, dragged on for so long. Fucking, which kind of worries me. It sets a dangerous precedent of, because if he gets impeached, alright, just because of sheer brute force of like, no, he's a mean, I don't want him in office no more, and they get him impeached through sheer force of will and bitching, like a toddler, that sets a dangerous precedent. Because right now, it's obviously the left, because Trump is very much on the right, so the left is trying to get him impeached. And if they successfully do that, and they get their president in office, I guarantee you the right will retaliate and do the exact same goddamn thing. And if that cycle starts up of impeaching presidents just because I don't like his haircut, he can fuck off. If that becomes a thing, and it starts working, our government is going down in flames. Like, oh my god, it is going to be so bad. But I've kind of given up on worrying about politics. No joke, I don't even know who the presidential candidates are. I keep seeing an ad for this dude who apparently was mayor during 9/11, I think. And apparently he handled that well, which is good on him, you know. 9/11 was a terrible thing, and it's cool if you can deal with that. I have no idea anything about him, though, other than every single thing I've seen about him is 9/11 bad, he helped. You know, nothing explaining what anything else he's done that's good. Just one thing that he did good, and that's it. But, you know, maybe he saved a baby from a burning building or something like that. I don't know. I have largely just assumed that no matter what, by the way, I'm actively getting pissed off that there hasn't been a single one of those fucking drones with a battery in ages. Alright? Side note, fuck farming for chaotic, alright? It pisses me off to no end. I need like 5,000, and I've got like 300. Okay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. The dude, I don't know what he's about. I know that I just assume every candidate is an asshole, because for the past 2 years, whether you're left or right, they've just been choosing fucking psychopaths and old people and assholes. Like, alright, I'm gonna talk about Hillary Clinton real quick, alright? I don't care that, you know, all the running for office and shit, what people say about her. She wrote a book, alright? And ever since she lost that election, she has gone off the deep end. Now, before you say anything of like, oh no, I gotta check something. Before anybody says anything of like, okay, oh no, you can't say anything bad about her, it's because you don't agree with her politically. She wrote a book, and I am not fucking kidding. In it, she blames the loss of the election on the KKK, the Illuminati, the Freemasons. She has gone so off the deep end. She believes Anonymous and the Illuminati are actively plotting to destroy her and defeat her because they know that she would make America too good if she took power, and they don't want a woman in office. So the entirety of the world's secret organizations are plotting against this one crazy old lady. She's gone so off the fucking deep end. She has gone on record saying, the only reason I lost to Trump is because the Illuminati's in his back pocket. I can't run against that. And it's like, oh my god, this person nearly ran a country. A person who believes the Illuminati is plotting against them nearly ran a fucking nation. They nearly ran the free nation. And that actually terrifies me. She's still going, by the way. She hasn't stopped. There's apparently a podcast now of a bunch of ladies just shitting on Trump, or shitting on the right or something, but a bunch of ladies, including Hillary Clinton. And I don't much give a damn what she thinks, but you best bet your sweet bippy I'm gonna be watching and listen to that podcast with bated breath. I'm gonna hang on to every word these crazy old ladies be doing. Who knows? Maybe it'll actually be a very polite and intellectual podcast where they just casually discuss things. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I guarantee you, it's just a bunch of crazy old people spouting bullshit, losing their goddamn minds. But, you know, to each their own. Maybe it's okay if they're psychopaths. You know. I can't. You look at other countries, alright? I'm sorry I'm going on about politics for so long, but this is my, future at stake. I'm only 20, man. I got born at the shittiest timeline, alright? We're in a bad way right now. And I am in a time where, unironically, out of the people who chose to try and rule my nation, that I am born in and would someday raise children like I'll ever get a fucking wife. I'm not going to go on that too long, but appearance-wise, I'm just going to say this real quick because I've never gotten to say this analogy. I look like Quasimodo. Quasimodo got put through a wood chipper, then the mutilated remains were put through the wood chipper 6 more times, and then somehow that mutilated mass of cartilage survives through sheer force of hating life alone. So I ain't going to have no kids. But I know my little brother's going to grow up in this shithole. And when people running for office, I know nothing about Bernie. I know he's a little old man. I know one time he said, yo, make weed legal. And there was a funny meme about a dude who was like, because he said weed legal, but also he's white. So that was funny. But I know one of them believes the Illuminati and the KKK are plotting against her. Obviously, mentally stable, should totally be put in charge of millions and millions and millions of people in an economy that's already fucked. And a man who won almost entirely off of the promise, and this is from everybody I know who voted for him, entirely because I'm gonna lock the Mexicans out of our country so they can't take our hard-earned jobs. Which, obviously grown up in rural white South with that mentality of, fuck the beaners, ain't nobody wanna hear nothing about no Mexican shipping bats. They sure as hell bought that hook, line, and sinker. Apparently, it was supposed to be against illegal immigrants and the drug trade, and most of the drug trade comes through legally, so a wall wouldn't do shit. Like, apparently a lot of it is like, they just fly it in on planes or boats, and it's like, oh look, there's a box of new Gucci pants, and inside it's just like a kilo of cocaine. So that didn't go nowhere. I haven't heard about the wall in a long time. I wonder if a good old Trumpy boy ever got to build his Lego wall. Probably. Knowing the fucking country we live in, I totally bet that he'd start working on the wall. It'd be funny if he did. I'd really like to just see Trump build like a big-ass Lego brick wall, because he couldn't afford to build a real one. Like a big-ass wall made out of like fucking millions of popsicle sticks, and just a fucking fuck-off wall made out of Lego, and in it it's spelled, go away, no Mexicans allowed. I think the most that he could actually do is just have a little picket sign with a little white note on it. Like how a little kid will have a sign on their door, no girls allowed. Just a little written in Sharpie that says, no Mexicans beyond this point, and that's it. Which is funny, because, you know, a lot of the people I know who are from, like, Hispanic countries didn't come from Mexico. They came legally from other countries, like Puerto Rico. By the way, I want to talk about something. I found out, alright, from people I was working with, and this isn't just from, like, white assholes. This is from other people. There's a country apparently called Burma, right? There's a bunch of Burmese people coming in who are from a quote-unquote refugee country that's, like, really bad in a way. And I've seen a lot of these Burmese people, and I met a lot of people from Puerto Rico, right? And oh my god, they work hard. Like, those people will fucking slave away. They go 24/7 non-stop. And these people from Burma, of which there are a lot of them, they're all really lazy. And I thought maybe that was just the department they were in. And I had somebody from Puerto Rico explain to me the fucking conspiracy from it. Alright? 1 second. Sorry. So there's a country, right, called Burma. And our people were shown photos by Catholic missionaries of all these people starving in the streets and all this shit, and it's horrible. Which is a blatant lie. Apparently, Burma is perfectly fine and an average country. But Catholics took a bunch of people from Burma and started photoshopping and setting up fake shoots of poor Burmese people whose lives are terrible so they could get into the country and not have to work, because a lot of them live off of the income you can get. The support income. So they just come in from a country that's perfectly fine and don't work because somebody lied to let them in. And it's not all Hispanic people. Like I said, the people from Portugal, not Portugal, I can't remember now, a country that starts with a P, they work fucking hard. If any one of them from that country isn't working hard, the rest of them roast the shit out of them. Like, there's one guy from there who doesn't do his job, and everybody fucking hates him and say he's a disgrace to their country. Which is like, oh, okay, shit. But these people just come in and just get to fuck off. It's annoying as shit. And the thing, that's a real problem. Okay, I work at a hospital. And last night, something really bad happened, alright? An employee fell down and got hurt. We don't know what was wrong with him. And now, here's the thing with people from Burma. How the fuck am I supposed to get back? Back over here. Here's the thing from people with Burma, right? They refuse to learn English. Which, you know, I'm not saying I hate other languages, but I'm saying if you move to a country, you should learn their language. Like, if I move to France, I'm not going to expect everybody there to speak English. I'm going to learn French before I go there so I can communicate in their language, so not to inconvenience them. If I move to Russia, I'm going to make a vague attempt at learning whatever the fuck Russian is, which genuinely looks like somebody just fucking had a violent seizure while putting pen to paper, and ta-da, Russian was born. It's a fucking nightmare, but that's besides the point. Sounds cool. But these people refuse to learn English, which actually has led to some really bad shit, because last night there was an employee who was Burmese, and he got hurt. And I would say what was wrong with him, but nobody knew because he could not speak English to tell the staff what was wrong with him. So for 10 or 15 minutes, this dude is lying on the floor, rolling in pain, and we can't communicate with him because the fucker doesn't speak English and can't tell us what's wrong. And all the people who are Burmese are on extended break because most of them who should have been back by now are still chilling in the cafeteria. So somebody has to sprint all the way across the hospital, grab one of the Burmese people, be like, yo, a dude's down, he's holding his stomach, he's screaming, he's crying, he seems in a bad way, we're scared to move him because we don't know what's wrong with him. And they grab somebody who casually walks the entire fucking way back, alright? There is a dude who might be fucking dying, and he casually struts his happy little ass all the way back. And we have to get a translator because the man won't speak English and he might be dying. The poor bastard left there for 15 minutes. It took ages to get the guy help. And that is a bit of a problem. If you go to a country and you can't speak their language and something goes wrong, how the fuck are you supposed to get help? But they don't care because they just assume that one of the other Burmese people will be there to translate. But situations like that, ta-da, everybody was on break, nobody was there to help the poor guy. I don't know if he's okay. I saw him being wheeled away in a wheelchair, lolling his head back and forth like he was fucking drunk. And he was like muttering incoherently. Poor guy might have been fucking scarred for life or something. Like if he hit his head or was having heart problems, he could be damaged for life. But he couldn't ask for help. The most he could do was hold up his tag and show what department he was from. And you know, that's a bit fucked. Alright? That's some shit. That's pretty goddamn bad. I don't know what the hell happened to the dude. And the other Burmese dude who showed up, it's actually, I felt bad for laughing, but fuck. He walked up, and the first thing he says, hey, and he gently kicks the dude in the knee. Hey, are you okay? Hey, and he starts patting him on the face. Like if your friend's asleep and you're trying to get him to wake up for work. Hey, buddy, hey. And the dude's lying there in pain, and we're like, talk to him. He's like, oh, okay. And he starts talking to the dude, and after a short exchange of words, the other one barely wheezing out the words through gritted teeth. And we asked, what's wrong with him? I don't know, I cannot understand him. Because apparently his Burmese was also incomprehensible because he was in so much pain. So we waited 15 minutes for fucking nothing. And then they just went to work on the dude with what little knowledge they had, being like, well, hope he doesn't die. He would have been fine, because at the start, he was able to, like, talk coherently for a little bit, and then it got worse and worse and worse. Still have no idea what the hell happened to the poor guy. I think he fell and hit his head. I just walked down the end of the hall, and he was crossing his stomach, mumbling incoherently, and wasn't responsive to anything other than that Burmese dude, and even then, barely got words out. But, like, they've caused a lot of issues at our hospital, too. Because at a hospital, alright, I work in the laundry, but we have a shitload of trash at the end of the day that I take out. And we have this big fuck-off trash compactor that you turn it on every time you use it, so it, you know, compacts the trash. And every day, I go out there and there are people, and everybody else, there are people from Mexico, people from Portugal, they do their thing, they get their job done, they turn it on like they're supposed to. Because if you don't, it gets backed up. And this compactor isn't fast. It takes like a good 5 minutes to complete a single rotation. And if it gets backed up, somebody has to stand outside, no matter what the weather is, for 30 minutes straight, just waiting for, like, turning it on over and over and over again. And these people from Burma, guess what they never, ever, 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 ever do? Turn on the goddamn compactor. So like clockwork, every night at 8 o'clock, when they shouldn't have to, I or somebody else has to stand there for 20 or 30 fucking minutes, turning the machine on, just leaving it go. On and on and on. Because somebody, by the way, it's not hard to turn on. You press, there's a keypad. 1, 2, 3, 4, on, done. You've turned on the trash compactor. That's all that's required to do. It's not hard. I've seen them do it before, too, when they had to, because it was so fucking full. But they don't. They just throw shit in and leave it. And it's fucking infuriating. Fucking, I know I'd be pissed off if I went to somebody, like, imagine if I went to France, alright, and I got a job working at a fucking factory on like one of the lines, checking the product that goes by, and I just brought up a lawn chair and didn't do my job. I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm from a poor family so I don't have to work, or I'd fucking do my job. I don't care where the hell you're from, If you can do your job, you do your goddamn job. But they just don't. And it pisses me off that there are countries who need help, like Mexico. They've got some real fucking problems. I say let more of them come in. Kick out all the people who are blatantly lying about, like, if they're from a bad family or a bad area, alright, come on in. But if you're blatantly lying about being poor just so you can get free shit, that right there is the biggest issue that I can see with the U.S. right now, okay? We've got so much shit, alright? So think of it this way. So for a little while, I don't know how it's going now, but there was a... One moment. There was a thing, alright, where these people, the African American community, alright, and I've got nothing against African Americans, but there was a bill going around, from what a friend told me, where a lot of people, if you were of a certain age of African American, you could just get free shit because of your ancestry. And I'm not saying slavery was good, but I am saying that that happened a long time ago, and it's fucked up. Yeah. You want to know what's more fucked up? Trying to cripple an already fucked up economy where countless people are homeless, it's getting worse, and everybody's going to shit. It shouldn't matter what color you are to receive help. Don't give free money to people just because of what happened in the past. Give free money to them because they need it and they're suffering. I know a lot of people who are going homeless. I know a friend who lives out of the back of their van, but they don't get any help. And they wouldn't because they're white. But it doesn't matter what color they are. They're starving. They need help. It shouldn't fucking matter what color you are. We should focus more on fixing our fucking decimated economy than anything else. It kind of makes me sad, really. It's like, yo, these people are suffering. Just help. But no. I know a lot of people who are going homeless. A family with 3 kids who they can barely support. And they have to move from family to family borrowing scraps because they just can't take care of their kids. It's depressing. But you know, it doesn't matter. It's just fucked up. It actively makes me sad. I mean, I understand that what they went through is terrible, but you haven't gone through that. It shouldn't matter what your family has gone through. If you're African American and you're starving, your kids need food, you're suffering, alright, you get help. But if you live from a middle-class family, you got all your wits about you, you got food, you got a job, you don't need free shit. And I'm not talking from this like some privileged white asshole. I have been homeless for a while. I've lived from paycheck to paycheck. I've lived on bread sandwiches, packet ramen, gone fucking days without eating and shit. I've not been the poorest of the poor, but I've been low. And there is nothing in the world I would not have given to just get $100. That would have changed my life if I could get like an extra $100 a month. I could have done so much extra. But I don't, because we don't have systems like that. But people are still expecting to get free shit when there are other people who suffer. I mean, there are plenty of people who are going to lose their homes. They can't feed their kids, but they're not getting anything because fuck them. Oh, well, sorry for the abrupt end to all of this, but I got to start getting into work. Sorry today was a long political rant. I kind of got off on a tangent. Next time I stream, I will try not to do that. I'll try and do haha funny jokes. Maybe I'll look up some shit to talk about. I don't know. But, you know, have a good day. Whoever's watching this, good day, night, evening, brunch, whatever the hell you're doing. Have a wonderful time, and wish you the best of luck.